Most people stay stuck as a hobbyist, not because you lack a passion, but because no one ever showed you how to move forward with the business side of things. When I look back at my journey from filming weddings I didn't enjoy to running side hustles to eventually building and selling a production company, I realized there was a pattern, a repeatable path, 5 stages to be exact. It wasn't a perfect linear line, but these 5 stages showed up again and again, and when I mapped them out, they gave me clarity on how to grow. So today I'm going to break down those exact stages and show you how to go from tinkering on the side to building something real. Every journey starts with a spark, not a strategy, not a spreadsheet, but a spark of passion. For me, that was age 9, when I found my dad's camera and instantly got hooked on storytelling. I was filming everything, my friends goofing off, little skits, moments at family events. I wasn't thinking about money at that time. I was just thinking about making stuff and creating. By age 15, I started wondering, can I make money doing this? I don't want to do anything else. And that led me to filming weddings. And I hated it. But I found a passion for something else. I realized that I loved to learn how to build the business around my passion, how to find clients and set pricing and deliver on time. And that's when I realized that the spark was more than just the art. It was about building something around it. And that's key. Most people stop here. They're afraid that if they turn their hobby into a business, it will kill the fun. And honestly, it could. It almost happened to me. But what if building around your passion could change into something new? What if it became more mature, deeper in its complexity? What's your spark? What hobby are you obsessed with right now? Drop it in the comments below, because I want to talk about it. Because there is a brutal truth around this. Passion does not pay the bills. So the second stage is all about developing and stacking the skills needed around and out of your capabilities. I went deep into video editing, into storytelling, into graphic design, client management, pricing strategy. I studied how people pitched and communicated, and I even worked retail just to watch how products were being sold and what made people buy. Yes, I took some college courses in all of this, so it wasn't all just on-the-job training, but to be honest, the real growth happened in the field, working under people with more experience than me and watching how they won and learning from their mistakes so I didn't have to do them myself. And I also learned the boring stuff, even if I didn't love it, like pricing and proposals and contracts. Those are all the things that keep your dream and your spark alive and what pays the bills. The creative work was the reward, but this stuff was the fuel around it. So here's a question. Do you know what you need to learn and what to get better at to turn this hobby into a business? If you do, use this simple process to see results quickly. Make a list of 3 things you need to improve on. Then write 1 small action you can take this week to work on each of them. So you'd have 3 actions to take this week. And if that works the first week, do it again and again and again. It's that simple until you've mastered that skill. But if you feel like you don't even know what to put on that list, that's okay too. Curiosity is your best guide right now. Follow those rabbit trails. Ask people doing what you want to do what they wish they'd learned earlier. Now, I want to pause for a PSA. We live in a world of consumption, and there are 2 major consequences to overconsumption. I'm talking about TV and your phone and your laptop and podcasts and books. We have a hard time living without constant input, and the first consequence of this is wasted time. If you don't have enough time, try not to turn the TV on in the evening for 1 week and see how many hours you have back. It's a harsh reality to come to grips with. The second consequence from this is too much input is the beaver dam. You have all of these beavers bringing in new ideas, contrary opinions, and just junk, piling it up in front of your output. So when it comes time to create, you feel constipated, not able to get out the ideas from your brain and into your creative work. And you need to be creating more than what you consume. That's the cheat code most people miss. Don't wait to be ready. You get better by doing. So if you're waiting for the perfect aha moment or the perfect project or the perfect client or whatever, don't. You can't steer a parked car. This applies to stage 2 in that when you do, you learn. That is the fastest way to skill stack. So you've got the skills now, and now it's time to ship. The third stage is where you get to test the business in the wild. Don't quit your day job. Stability gives you the freedom to fail smart here. I call this wading in rather than diving in. For me, I did not follow this rule and I didn't know it yet, so I had to learn it the hard way. I had launched a wedding video business, which I disliked, and so I got ambitious and I shifted over to commercial video. But I dove in rather than wading in. I quit my day job and I lasted 3 months and then ended up painting houses just to survive after that. But each attempt either way gave me a new piece of the puzzle. And here's what's crucial for me. I was documenting every attempt. I was tracking what worked and what didn't. And this was no longer a hobby for me. I wasn't treating it as just a passion and the spark anymore. This was something that I could test and improve upon and build an engine and a business around. But that business I waded into. I built it alongside my full-time job until I hit a tipping point that I had clearly defined beforehand. So I would ask yourself this: what is your tipping point? Is it 6 months of savings or a certain number of clients in the books or a target monthly income that you're making from the side hustle? If you haven't defined your exit criteria from your 9 to 5, you're either going to jump into the deep end with no life raft, or you'll tread water and lose momentum trying to maintain both your day job and what's ready to become more than a side hustle, but you're still treating it like a side hustle. So I'd recommend that you define that tipping point. This is your target that you get to work towards and will help you know when it is time to quit the day job. The fourth stage is all about preparing to scale with systems, building systems into your business. If you're still doing everything in the business to operate it, you're not running a business, you're freelancing. And freelancing cannot scale because it all depends on you to keep it running. Frameworks or systems or SOPs, whatever you call them, you need to begin to scale with them. So break down how you sell, how you communicate, how you estimate and how you charge, how you invoice, how you deliver. And once you have put these into steps that you can build repeatable systems around, you are able to train and are able to scale with them. Setting systems into place changed everything for me. And I talk a lot about it in this video that I'll link, where I break down one of the 4 books that I recommend anyone moving their creative into a business to start reading these. And so I was able to take those lessons into my own production company when I went full-time with it. And you know what happened when I did that? People trusted me. Referrals came in, clients returned again and again. And I attribute a lot of that to, you guessed it, systems. I remember that I once followed up with a lead who had ghosted me for about 3 months. And because I had a system in place reminding me to do that, that client ended up becoming one of my largest retainers. So systems can sell for you and they can scale for you and they can build out a culture and a team that you are proud of. If you want to get out of the rut of reinventing the wheel every time you have to send an email or sell a project or deliver on a project, break down and define these 3 systems today: how you attract leads, how you track work, and how you invoice and deliver. Don't overcomplicate these. A Google Sheet is a system. A notebook can be a system, a good place to at least start. The key is to be consistent with it. You don't have to want to sell your business in the end to become a founder, but you do have to build something that can run without you. That's what I learned when I sold my production company. And that's what I continue to apply now as a CMO of a SaaS company. At this stage, your job shifts. You are becoming a coach, the builder, the vision setter. This is also where it gets uncomfortable. Because if you started this thing to do more of your passion, now you have to hand the passion off. So let's pause here and talk about your identity. What you do can easily become a part of who you believe you are. But what does that mean when or if you decide to sell the thing that you've invested your entire identity into? You'll be lost. This is something that I experienced when I sold my business, and I plan to do a video about it, so make sure to like and subscribe if you want to hear more about that. So yes, you will have to hand off some of your passion, but it's also where the loop closes. This is where you get to become a mentor you needed years ago to those you now hire. You get to watch the thing you built grow without you being the bottleneck of it. It can expand and scale faster than you ever could. And this is where the passion matures like a fine wine and grows in complexity. So you have a choice to make here. You can choose to view this handoff as a loss of something that you love, or as a rebirth into something new and, to be honest, more rewarding than you ever thought your passion ever could be on its own. So ask yourself, if somebody were doing your job today, would the business still run? And if not, what needs to change? You might need to move back to stage 4 and build some more systems. So let's recap the roadmap. The spark is where it all begins. You fall in love with the craft, not because someone tells you to, but because it lights something up inside you. It's play, not profit, at that stage. But it's also the seed of something much bigger. Then comes stage 2, the skill stack. To move beyond the hobby, you have to build around that spark. And this is where you dive deep into learning, not just the fun stuff, but the hard stuff. At this stage, you get to turn interest into a well-rounded skill set, which leads you into stage 3, experimenting. With the skills under your belt, it's time to get in the arena. You launch side projects and you pitch small clients and you test the waters, and this stage can be messy, but it's where your hobby starts resembling a business. You're wading in as you learn what works and what doesn't. Then stage 4 is building that foundation after you've figured out what works. These things start to click here. You build systems that you need to manage your time and your clients and to be able to scale beyond yourself. You go from hustling to operating. This is where momentum can really kick in. Stage 5 is when you shift away from being the engine to building the engine. You step into leadership and maybe you build a team, maybe you scale a product, but either way, you're now the architect of something that can grow without you. That's the key piece here. And I want to tell you that no matter where you're at on this roadmap, you are not behind. You're just at a specific stage. Now you have the map that you can use to move towards the next stage. And I'll challenge you here. Don't let passion be the peak if you truly want to build a business. The spark is so much fun, but it is just the beginning. What turns that spark into something that lasts is systems, habits, and action. So wherever you are, start the car, get it out of park, and start steering. Build the next thing and learn the next skill and take the next step. So what stage are you at right now? Comment below. I want to hear from you. And if this roadmap helped, hit the like and subscribe button below. And I've got deep dives on each of these coming up soon. Now, go build something you're proud of.